this out. It has more dislikes than likes. Woo! This has more dislikes than likes, y'all. On over 500,000 views. Wow. Okay. You know, people are not happy, man. You know. And then she can't do the interview by herself. Yeah. But hey, they call us weird. They call us this and that. When you say DEI unqualified, you know, you pronounce her name wrong. People are so sensitive. They say you're racist. The burden has been unburdened. The coconut has fallen out the coconut tree. And we get $25,000 on a new home. Then come to find out it was a lie. It's not even for us. And they just raised the price $30,000, $40,000. They just raised the price $25,000. Yeah. Sounds about right, man. People are clapping on puppets. Puppets, puppets, puppets. How has your life been these last 3.5, 4 years? I want to ask you that. Do you know where your tax dollar is going to? Especially in these states. Hey, look at California. Come on in. We got 0% interest rates. Free health care. Free food. Everybody else is homeless. Veterans. Homeless. Dying on the street. Struggling. People have to make life decisions inside of a grocery store. At the gas pump. Trying to figure out how they're going to put food on the table tomorrow. I ask you guys, how has your life been these last 3.5, 4 years? That's all I want to know, man. I love you, and I'm wishing the best in all you guys' life before we get into this video, man. God bless all you and your families through these times. I myself, that used to be a Trump hater, a never Trumper. I didn't think for myself. I listened to the fake news, the mainstream media. Some were CNN. But I am voting for Trump 2024. And we encourage everybody to go out and vote. It's time for a change. Time for a change in leadership. All the lies they spew out, Project 2025, none of that stuff is real for the Trump presidency. A threat to democracy, a dictator on day one, a so-called racist. It's crap. Hate to break it to you. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's crap. I know you might watch these clips here. You might go back to this tweet here. You might go back to this clip, but it's all crap. And he was right all along ago. Everything that's happening right now in this country, everything that's happening right now, it all came to pass. Trump was right. But hey, people were offended. People don't have tough skin. We are very, very sensitive in today's time. Very, very sensitive. I encourage you to think for yourself, do your research. And it's time for a change, man. Let's check out this interview. We got an amazing put together video, and we're going to bring Benny on the show. So let's go and jump in. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I am wishing the best in all you guys' life, man.
Voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy. Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president?
Should affect voters. Listen to that exchange.
Generally speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed.
So, Phil, that is her sort of broad explanation of some changes in policy and what she would do as president now that she is running at the top of the ticket in 2024. But as I said, we did talk about some of the specifics, which you'll see tonight.
Dana, you mentioned wide-ranging. I don't want you to give it all away. Obviously, it airs at 9 p.m. tonight. But what else, kind of top-line people, did you have an opportunity to speak to them about?
This is ridiculous.
Senator Harris, thank you so much for sitting down and welcoming us. If you win, your administration is going to inherit a really dire situation.
The color purple, a child's marker, it's so purple. That hasn't always been the case. 10 years ago, these markers weren't so purple, but now they're purple. Now they're really, really purple, and it's alarming to me, and it's also enchanting to me to see the deep blue sea inside, this.
I want to ask about Russia. The Department of Homeland Security said that Russia is trying to amplify claims that mail-in voting will lead to widespread.
Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. Buttered sausage. It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
What's up, guys? It's boy Benny. The history of sports is filled with boom and bust athletes who have a bunch of hype around them, and they get out into the big game, the big dance, the big lights, and they choke. And everybody says, wow, that sucked because they weren't ready for the big time. They weren't ready. They might have been good in their own little district, in their own little league, but when they hit the big time, when they hit the big game, they can't compete. They're not ready. They aren't built for this prime time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris has been choking. Quite frankly, this is how she built her career to this point. She is ready to run for president of the United States. Just listen to the poetic words of Kamala Harris spoken just minutes ago.
Even called for termination of the United States Supreme, the supreme land of our nation, the United States Constitution.
The supreme land of our nation, the United States Constitution, even called for the elimination of the Supreme. The Supremes. Don't you love their music? I was a member of the Supremes. I'm Kamala. I've done it all. Yeah, not great. But this is also why they are panicking. I'm telling you, they're panicking. They're keeping her off camera because they know the more they show Kamala Harris, the more people hate her. Quick crash course reminder that Kamala Harris is the most hated vice president in American history. Kamala Harris has a lower approval rating than Dick Cheney until she got the complete and total glow up, sugar high, diabetes type 2 injection from the corporate press to say that she's now queen and slay. And Kamala Harris is doing her first interview tonight, and they've just started releasing the clips of it. CNN has, by the way, the person, Dana Bash, who's doing the interview, married to a guy who signed the Hunter Biden laptop letter. Just, you'd think that'd be maybe a conflict of interest. Nobody knows. But this is going to be the softest of softballs. Yet, this interview, which was supposed to last an entire hour, only lasted 15 minutes. Well, 18 minutes total, with the interviewer yammering and the human blocking dummy, Coach Tim Walz. What's being cut out, asks Trump campaign officials. This is now popping that the interview is, not that great. Now, this is a, let's just say, very charitable angle. The interview itself looks like a parent-teacher conference here. Why are there so many coffee cups? Kind of the first takeaway. Like, is there some reason that there are so many coffee cups in the shot? Is that like a diner or something? It's so dark. What's happening? The visuals are just awful. Dana bashed a conference with Principal Walls and Vice Principal Harris about the importance of doing homework and not causing disruptions in the cafeteria. People from inside the Trump administration saying that the CNN sources saying it's already over. Short. She got jammed up. Maybe it'll make the final cut. So Kamala Harris not ready for prime time. Donald Trump Jr. Wait a second. The first interview with Kamala and Walz is only 18 minutes long, and CNN isn't releasing the whole thing. That's right. They're not releasing the transcript. They won't release the transcript. It did not go well. Truncated for 18 minutes. Will not release the transcript. CNN will air a shortened version tonight. To fill time, CNN will run an inspirational video about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Oh.
Well, I just showed y'all, man. They had the more dislikes than likes on CNN on the actual video. Sheesh.
Pretty bad. This is like, again, the look here is atrocious. Kamala waited 40 days to give an interview, refused to do it live, needed her lapdog, emotional support animal, and now it's only 18 minutes long. She couldn't even do 18 minutes. Is this a joke? Kamala isn't ready. You got to tell us. Every decision in her campaign is screaming it from the rooftops. Kamala ain't ready. Okay, so this is the highlight clip that they released, which is remarkable. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. The highlight of the night.
Speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. As an example, that value has not changed.
What is she talking about? Her values hasn't changed.
Like they say, you just can't make this up, man. And again, we know who the ones that are going for this. Like, oh yeah, you guys, give her a break. You guys are weird. Give the lady a chance. You know. But how has your life been the last 3.5, 4 years underneath this leadership? This same lady who told you Biden was as sharp as a tack, and that the Bidenomics is working, that we're doing such an amazing job, as millions struggle and die. But hey, come on in. We got free healthcare, free food for you, free housing. Can't make this stuff up, man. War. I mean, I know y'all don't like hearing it, man, but I'm telling you, if they find it, has to be too big to rig, man. Because if not, we are in big trouble with this right here, y'all. I hate to break it to you. Facts over emotions. And it irks me that I have to hear, identity politics all the way to November 5th. Not a black woman. If she is a black woman, if she's not, I don't care. But it's sad that not one person, not one Kamala Harris voter can tell me one one good reason. One. Just one. Not one good reason. And did she call Biden? Did she call Biden racist? Oh. He didn't took 5 vacations in 1 week. He'd have been to the beach about 10, 15 times. Who's running the country? We are not against a candidate, y'all. We are against a corrupt machine. And it's corrupt.
You know how easy this is to like do an add-on?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
The people who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
What would you do about the millions of, specifically, assault weapons that are already in circulation? What do you do about those?
Well, there are approximately 5 million, to your point, Craig. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. It is outdated, it is wrong-headed thinking to think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on the street.
It also says, quote, every individual who is a resident of the United States is entitled to benefits for healthcare services under this act. Not every individual.
You know, I grew up, man, 24 years old, but I grew up, with amazing people around me, amazing parents, both parents in the household. Right from wrong. We got hit upside the head. We got beat. Mom always said when somebody show you their true colors, they show you their true colors. And then you go back and look at Trump from the 70s, 80s, 90s. Fella ain't changed. You guys seen all the, you seen the interviews, you see all the movies, the shows, everything he was invited on. Everybody that used to love him, now they hated him after 2016. How the media turned against him. You see what he said on that clip, on those famous clips with Oprah, on The View, everywhere. It really goes to show you how corrupt this thing really is, man. It goes to show you. And a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are waking up, man. And it has to be too big to rig.
As a citizen, but every individual who's a resident. So you support giving universal health care, Medicare for all to people born in this country illegally?
Let me just be very clear about this. I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being from access to public safety, public education, or public health, period.
To reiterate, you support the Medicare for All bill, I think initially co-sponsored by Senator Bernie Sanders. You're also a co-sponsor on it. I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance. So for people out there who like their insurance, well, they don't get to keep it.
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
And yeah, I am right up there. Is my values have not changed.
Okay, Kamala Harris is now like for the border wall. You know this, right? Like she's now changed every single one of those positions. There's not a single position there that she says she's in favor of when she's actually trying to run for president as a Democrat. And now she's been installed as a fake, illegitimate candidate, and she knows that they are in a desperate panic mode to try and like whitewash everything that Kamala Harris actually stands for. My values have not changed? Yeah, okay, got it. If her values haven't changed, then how could she possibly hold the brand new positions that contradict those alleged values every single day, says Tim Murtaugh, one of the campaign advisors for President Trump. CNN editors deleting clips of Kamala fails from the interview. Ding, 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 ding. Did they film this in the breakout room? It looks absolutely awful. Not presidential. It doesn't look good. Kamala Harris, my values have not changed, seems to be the takeaway line. Kamala Harris also has some commentary about the border.
Greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed.
Not ready, man. Not ready. That feeling when the essay is due in 10 minutes, but you haven't hit the word count yet. People saying, she says nothing.
Anyone
Yes,
in
I
mind?
would. No one in particular in mind. We got 68 days to go with this election, so I'm not putting the cart before the horse, but I would. I think it's really important. I have spent my career inviting diversity of opinion. I think it's important to have people at the table when some of the most important decisions are being made that have different views, different experiences. And I think it would be to the benefit of the American public to have a member of my cabinet who was a Republican.
That answer, will you have a Republican member? Maybe a former Republican, she says, and then a complete word salad. This is what we're going to get. This is why they have kept her away from the cameras and away from talking and away from questions, because she topples like a house of cards when just even the slightest pushback. We haven't even seen the full interview yet. They won't even release the transcript. It's only 18 minutes long. Whole thing's insanity. President Trump previewing the interview today. Dana Bash interviewing Kamala Harris. Want to see if she can get through the interview. Nobody knows what's going on. Here we go.
She's interviewing Kamala, and people just want to see if she can get through the interview. Nobody knows what's going on. I've done so many interviews in the last couple of months. Every time I go out, I have an interview. I have people, reporters, and we talk to them. And they ask me every question in the book, and we answer them. And you don't see any scandals brewing, nothing. We answer them properly. You have to, as president, you have to be able to deal. You're dealing with the toughest, smartest, most ruthless people in the world. If you can't do an interview, we got the wrong person.
It's common sense,
yeah, it's pretty obvious who has the IQ to be president. If you have a high IQ, please subscribe to our channel. It's one of the smartest things you can possibly do. Like, share, and subscribe.
You shout out to my brother Benny, man. Let me know what y'all think of all this. We're gonna be covering this whole interview in a couple, about an hour or so. So make sure you don't miss out, man. We love you guys. Bless you all and your families, man. Let me know what y'all think of all this. It's ridiculous, man. And again, there's tons of people that are clapping this crap on, man. Puppets, puppets, man. And again, we know tons of people are Trump deranged. They're in their feelings. Trump hurt their feelings, but we got to continue to fight, man. We are not against the candidate. We are against the machine, and it has to be too big to rig. You guys see how corrupt this thing is, man, and it's all playing out in front of you. And a lot of people are getting played and don't even realize it, man. People are sick and tired, man. People are struggling. People are dying, man. How has your life been the last 3.5, 4 years? Answer that question. Under the Biden-Harris administration, it's time for a different set of leadership. I'm sorry, you guys. It's time for a different set of leadership, man. And my heart goes out to all the hardworking patriots, man. For the ones that make the ultimate sacrifice, man. For the ones that get up every single day trying to make it happen. To the families out there. To the ones out there on their own, living on their own. Single people, everybody, man. My heart goes out to you. People are struggling at an all-time high right now. Failed policies. Failures, liars. Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack. He was as sharp as a tack. She said Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack. And then he went out there and blew the machine up. They had to get the machine fixed and rigged back up again. But we knew what it was. Fella blew the motor and the transmission at the same time. We're living in the biggest history yet, you guys. And we encourage everybody to go out and vote, man. I believe that history will be done this election on that map. And I tell you, some things might even turn red. It's going to be history made, man. But we have to do our part. Get some friends, get your family. You know, it's time for a change, man. Because with that, we in trouble. I love y'all. We're going to be covering this interview. You know, after 40 days, they get an interview. You know, can't even release the transcript. It's 18 minutes. What? Then she does it with her running mate. Can't do an interview on her own. This is crap, man. Crap. Communist Kamala. I don't want your tampon. I don't want your $25,000. The market just raised the price $25,000. They laughing at you. Can't make this up, man.